Hello, adventurers, and welcome to the Journals of Thorgrin and Bella. I am your host, the Great Sean. Today, I have 3 homebrew races for use in your Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition games. None of these races have been play-tested, so feel free to suggest any balance changes down in the comments section below. Our first race for today is the Spectator. Yeah, a beholderkin. The reason why I decided to make this into a homebrew race is because after a spectator's indentured servitude is over, they are free to wander the world. And I was thinking, well, sweet, that sounds like a baked-in backstory for an adventurer. So, I really can't see why a spectator wouldn't choose to be an adventurer. So I made a homebrew race out of it. So, when you choose the spectator as your race, you gain the following benefits. You gain a +1 to dexterity and a +1 to constitution. Your size is medium, and you have a walking speed of 0 feet. However, you do have a flying speed of 30 feet. Which you can hover. You also get a natural weapon in the form of a bite attack, which does 1d6 plus your strength modifier. For your first ability, Eye Raise. Once per short rest, as an action, you may target one creature you can see within 90 feet of you. You may roll a 1d4 and the corresponding eye ray fires. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about the individual powers of the eye rays. You can check those down in the description below in the space where the spectator race is listed, but they are pretty much watered-down versions of the eye rays in the monster stat block. For the next ability, Spell Reflection. Once per short rest as a reaction, if you make a successful saving throw against a spell, or a spell attack misses you, you can choose another creature, including the spellcaster, you can see within 30 feet of you. The spell targets the chosen creature instead of you. If the spell forces a saving throw, the chosen creature makes its own saving throw. If the spell was an attack, the attack roll is rolled against the creature chosen. So you just get a neat little full counter ability. Create Food and Water. The next ability. Once per long rest, you can magically create enough food and water to sustain one creature for 24 hours. This is just a little thing in the spectator's lore that I just decided, hey, probably not going to be useful in-game unless that's the kind of campaign that you're running, that you need food and water and stuff, so it could just be a neat little thing, just like, hey, you hungry? Bam, some food. Because spectators can do that, so just add it onto there. Next ability. You may be thinking, well, this is kind of lame because they can't use weapons. They don't have any hands. Wrong. Spectators do have a little bit of ability to cast magic, I do believe. And if not, they definitely have a lot of potential to learn, so I thought, how about have an upgraded Mage Hand for their ability? Which is their next ability. Mage Hand. You innately know how to cast Mage Hand. The Mage Hand will stay indefinitely until dismissed, and can make attacks within 5 feet of you. The Mage Hand can also activate magic items. So, yeah, it's just a little upgraded Mage Hand. And finally, for your languages, you can speak, read, and write Common, Deep Speech, and Undercommon. Bullywug, the next race on our list. Bullywug are kind of like Grung, but less cool. So, when you choose the Bullywug race, you gain the following benefits. You gain a +2 to dexterity, your size is medium, and you have a walking speed of 25 feet, with a swimming speed of 40 feet. For your first ability, Amphibious. You can breathe air and water, so Bullywug would actually be a neat little choice if you want to play an underwater campaign. Next ability, kinda useless, but depending on the campaign it might be useful. Speak with frogs and toads. You can communicate simple concepts to frogs and toads when you speak in Bullywug. Next ability, same as last one, a little bit useless, but still cool depending on the campaign or the encounter. Swamp Camouflage. You have advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide in swampy terrain. Standing Leap. Your long jump is up to 20 feet. Your long jump is 20 feet, and your high jump is 10 feet, with or without a running jump. This just allows you to move around the environment a little bit better. And finally, your languages. You can speak, read, and write Common and Bullywug. Overall, I think this race is a little bit underpowered, but I guess it's cool. And finally, Kambians. It's a misconception that when a demon or devil and a human have fun, their baby is a tiefling. This potentially can happen, but usually no. It makes a Cambian. And a Cambian and a human make a tiefling. So I was thinking, why not make a Cambian race? And here it is. When you choose Cambian as your race, you gain the following benefits. You gain a +2 to strength and a +1 to charisma. You have a size of medium and a walking speed of 30 feet. You also have a flying speed of 40 feet. To use your flying speed, however, you cannot be wearing medium or heavy armor. For our first ability, Fiendish Blessing. You can add your charisma bonus to your AC, so they could be nice for a high AC build. Next ability, Innate Spellcasting. Saw some of the abilities that the Cambian gets on their stat block that are quite similar to certain spells, so I decided to give it innate spellcasting. You can innately cast Firebolt, and once per day you can cast Charm Person. You can use your charisma modifier for these spells. And finally, your languages. You can speak, read, and write Abyssal, Infernal, and Common. So, the Cambian gets a lot of the same ups that the Tiefling gets, but not as much. When you pick Tiefling, you can choose between a flying speed or spellcasting. This one allows you to have both, but nerfed versions of that. So, yeah. So that was it for our 3 races that I was presenting to you in this video, and I hope you enjoy them. Have fun.